Alrighty, hey everyone, I'm Harshil and today we have with us Yashank. Just for context, I have known Yashank not for long but for the past few weeks and we met offline in Bangalore and he has been running Uptute and Brackets his own agency and I was like damn that's something really crazy and I was like bro you need to share this knowledge with the world and here we are. So yeah, Yashank, how are you man, and if you could just introduce yourself to the audience it would be super helpful.
Yeah, hi Harshil. I'm doing good. Hi everyone, my name is Yashank. I am co-founder here at Brackets. We help teams to build their tech product, not just MVPs, also afterwards as well. Currently, we are working with a lot of logistic companies. So usually what we do is we work with one industry, we work with them, we understand the core, and then we help all the people in the particular industry. So that's why currently at Brackets, we are working with a lot of logistic companies.
How did you land on the name?
It's an interesting thing. So this is all thanks to my designer actually. So we were brainstorming what do we want to name this, and brackets was something that we wanted to keep as design first. We wanted to keep somewhere around design thinking. So we were having this conversation, and that person mentioned that design is a place that is endless, but code when you write it's within brackets. So we want to
Hmm.
promote it like design is endless, and the code that we'll write from there is in brackets where the whole magic will happen. So that's from there we picked up brackets, and I felt it's a cool name.
So you're a design first person.
Yes, like whenever I think of a problem statement, I feel it's almost like a design issue. I can give you an example. So we were discussing this last day, and we were sitting in a WeWork, and in a meeting booth, the light keeps going off, the lamp. So
Hmm.
everyone was like, "Oh, they haven't figured it out, the logistics are wrong." But I said that this is properly a design issue where they were not able to figure out where the lamp has to be, where the people are sitting. This is a design thinking. And what exactly design thinking is just not the design UI, UX, or graphics. Design thinking is anything in life that you have to do in a certain way and you don't think about how it will work. You just do it. That is the missing part is design thinking. So that's where we actually work as well. So in tier two companies where they are not able to figure out how this tech piece will work and help them grow. That's exactly we plug in, we tell them, and we give them that vision. And then that's what we call design thinking.
But like that's interesting because then design thinking and like solving problem are like very overlapping in this. Because
Correct.
essentially like you're solving the problem only with the design first approach in a way.
Yes. So design thinking starts with problem solving itself, or actually cover the whole problem solving. The major part of it is where teams who don't exactly know how this can impact their businesses, they don't usually understand how and what do they want and how do they want to grow 10x. Given an example, a team is doing a certain amount of revenue and they are doing good, but they don't know what they need to automate or what they need to do next in tech to figure out how they can grow 10x or 100x maybe. That where the design thinking comes in the picture, where we explain them if this design in UI UX or this system, if you'll automate, this will give you impact in this. So the problem solving is a bigger picture, but I'll say when you use design thinking in multiple pieces, that solves the whole idea of like growing 10x.
Fair enough. So I'll give you an example and you can like help me figure out if this is design thinking. So like we had a client and they wanted to build like a social a pin interest for social media, right? It was a platform where you could just collect content, organic content from influencers, creators, into something similar to Pinterest. And they were stuck on how to price it. And like what we did is we kind of saw, ki, okay, how does Pinterest charge? How does SaaS in their domain typically charge? On what is their infra cost? And basis that, what is a healthy margin from them? Try to work a mid ground and then take a user UI UX call. Ki how can we like a have a good profit while like keeping the price point not too high for the end user, and also funneling the user from a smaller tier to bigger tier. So is that also what you would consider a design thinking?
I will for sure. That's part of design thinking as well. Like you figuring out that. their main pain point is price. So maybe if they are thinking of what exactly should be the price point, but you think that it's not just price point that is affecting, it's around that. Who are you marketing? What do they need? Can I market it in a way that my price point won't make any difference, even if it's a $99 or if it's a $50, but my marketing campaign is in a way that everyone's will buy it. I'll give you an example. Danny Postma, you must know from Twitter, right? He had a
Mm-hmm.
course where he started it from very low price, and every 100 people when it buy it just keep increasing, and he was testing this approach where what is the right amount where people keep in buying, and if we increase it a little people stop buying. So that's also a very interesting way to figure out what's the exact price point. So in this way, design thinking is part of this, and then you will also understand who exactly is your target audience and how you can make sure they can agree on your price point as well, wherever you want to place it. But yeah, to understand where you want to place it, initial few days, what you did was actually something that I would also think of.
So you mostly focus on your design approach in the logistics domain. How did you like? Because like logistics, I would say is not the sexiest space to build in. You know, like if I ever to be, my first thoughts are fintech. Or actually, the funny part is I would now think building in astrotech, things like astrotech, because there is
Wow.
where a lot of money is nowadays. But logistics is like one of the sexy industries. How did you land on that?
I'll say logistic is the most boring industry I've ever worked in. I'll be very honest because if you think specifically in India, no one wants to go talk to transporters or even drivers because we don't see them as avid, I'll say, tech users, specifically drivers in India. But how I landed up in logistic was I was having a conversation with one of my family member. They have a transport business, and when I had a word with them, I saw they have more than 100 fleets, and how they were managing was Google Sheets, WhatsApp, and so many different let's say books from where they were keeping bookkeeping.
Okay,
And when
that's
I
really good.
I I had this idea, yeah. When I had this idea, I asked them, hey, if let's say you have to figure out last month, maybe in November, how much did it cost just for the servicing of your trucks? How would you figure out? They said, hey, we'll go on WhatsApp, we'll scroll to the November, we'll figure out how many people posted pictures, and we will come back to our sheet, match them, and we'll figure out this much went into the servicing. I said this was one SQL query away if they knew what exactly do they need, right? So I went to them and they mentioned that hey, they have been using TMS. They've been thinking of TMS, but all the TMS around is a prepackaged deal that hey, this is how our product looks like. Please pick it up and start using. But Indian market specifically is where they don't want to change their workflows and they want to keep their workflows same. So that's where I found a big gap where I wanted to do was we still keep your WhatsApp alive, we still keep your workflows, but everything is again going to a centralized place where whenever you want a report, whenever you want numbers, or whenever you want anything up from your team, it's just one query away. So in this way, we figured out, and when I went deep into it, I don't know how, but all the leads that I start getting from people I never had word with was logistic, and everyone was moving into it. And if you see specifically in India, next few years, it's going to be logistic heavy because all the money putting down into infrastructure and logistic is the core of it. And 98% of Indian transporters are still unorganized. So
Yeah.
that's where I felt this is a very huge market. Definitely boring, but I've heard that boring places are the where you make the more money, right? So yeah,
There's this thing that the average Marwadi WhatsApp group makes more than fintech company. So
correct.
boring businesses make money. So yeah, but like so, I haven't dealt directly with logistics, but I have dealt with people who are either in like the construction industry or maybe in the textile industry, and huge struggle is because they come from a different domain. I wouldn't say struggle, but it's like a conversational barrier to explain, like to have that tech to non-tech conversation. Plus, unko, like explaining them that okay, not everything is API. That's a very big challenge. So, like because you dealt with transport, and I'm sure like transport people are a lot more people making money, making crazy money, but like far, far away from the technical life.
Yeah, and you have guessed it right. And actually, what does these people think is either everything is doable by AI,
Yeah.
second, nothing is doable by tech. Reason being is whenever they are working with tech, they want to replace the whole flow, or even the companies tend to replace the whole flow and make them adopt to a new system. And that is very difficult to the people who are not tech savvy. If I'll go to a driver and say, from today, you are not supposed to message on WhatsApp group, and this is an app, you have to open on this, there is a chat button, there is this, there is an approval button. They won't do that. So what we particularly did, and that what we told the clients as well, right? We will make your app look like WhatsApp, like the buttons, the conversations, everything is WhatsApp. Like for them, it's just a clone of WhatsApp, and it looks like it. So all the green buttons, the image looks like same, everything is same. So in this way we tend to make it as familiar as for those people. And as you mentioned how the conversation goes, like, so initial my few conversation was very bad. I messed up a lot. Reason being, I was trying to sell them tech. I was trying to figure out, hey, this is a tech, I'll build this recognition system and you'll be able to query, there'll be an AI agent, you can ask for reports, or there'll be an email that you can do. But eventually, I realized they really don't care about tech. What they care about is the efficiency that you can sell. So, what I was selling on what I sell nowadays, and I most probably the people who are not in tech should sell in the same ways. I sell them the numbers that effectively they'll change. So, I tell them that for now, if it takes your team to upload proof of deliveries and create new orders in 2 days, this will be you will be able to do in 14 hours or maybe 12 hours. And
Hmm.
those numbers, when I tell them, they ask, how will you do that? Then I show them that this is the approach to do it. Then again, it's not like I'll tell them, hey, there'll be an API who will do that. I'll simply say, hey, have you seen the example of how Amazon does it? Something similar, we will do it. Do you see how Shiprocket is managing this? We'll do something similar to it. So by reference, it's easy for them to understand. By tech, it's very difficult for them to understand. But yeah, we usually end up giving examples or asking them for examples of what industry do they think their product should look like.
Interesting. That's like a narrative shift in the sense that rather than you selling them tech solution, what you sell them is a story that hey, your problem is solved, or your life is optimized, or your time is saved in any way. For a lot of non-tech people, that's the interest. So you started building in logistics, and you have been building in logistics space for how long?
We did not start with logistic. We started with edtech because the company I've been part of, that is Uptute, we do edtech there. We do corporate trainings there. So what we started off with was platform for corporate trainings, and we still have those platforms, but it was still internal tools. But yeah, we started with them. Logistic was August last year when we initiated brackets. Yeah, at that time we had word about logistic. And when I was going through all the products and when I was researching, I could see a big gap because either the products are really huge for like people who are doing maybe more than 100 CR a year, or products are not at all there. So the gap for people who are in the bracket of 1 CR to 100 CR, that was huge. And I felt those people have that hunger to grow into 1,000 CR businesses. That's where we picked up. So yeah, it was last year, August.
Interesting. Pick that up. सही है यार. But I think तो मेरे what with my clientele what I have observed is because AI is the hot word, they are like कि can we somehow introduce AI into the product?
Yeah.
Can this be done by like can we have some kind of AI integration, which we have done in a way, but like do you have seen similar patterns in your clientele?
Yeah, for sure. The biggest thing is people don't understand the difference between ML and AI. Obviously, I don't blame them, but most of the thing were we were able to do before itself. For example, there was a task where they put picture of odometers and they wanted to track that and store it in a space. For example, in logistics. Now they think now because AI is here, this is easy to do now. But this has nothing to do with it. Like OpenCV was still there and other things was also previously there, and this would have been done there. But yeah, definitely AI just sells better.
Hmm.
But what I have seen is most of the product that I have personally built, conversational AI is the most that sells, where there is a lot of data and the CEO or maybe CFO, they don't have enough time to go through dashboards. And if they want to change a dashboard, it takes time for people to go back on Sheets, change it, or maybe BI or any platform. With this, the only thing that I could see was they can chat with their data.
Hmm.
And that's been the key point for me to sell because now they can simply say, I wanted to know this truck, how much is it making me for past 3 months? And it can actually give you a report out of that. Yeah, but again, the biggest thing is most people don't have enough data to have AI running on their system. So that's, I feel, is a great place to work, just selling services to build data structure or data, centralized data for them. That's like a big market, I feel, right now.
I was talking to a founder, I think day before yesterday, and he is like pretty interested in this AI and data conversational queries wala thing. And he said a very interesting thing. He said ki what has ChatGPT and like conversational queries basically done is that it has made the terminal sexy.
Yes.
So I didn't catch it in the first glance, but when he explained ki okay, previously you would have to run a SQL query or you had to make a custom dashboard which had all these APIs, and now you can just have a database organized enough and you can have some kind of systems and SQL query or additional English, and boom, you have the same manner. So it's a very interesting shift that I have also seen in product, that like they are trying to make like terminal queries into a conversational shift.
That's been huge, and it's a great shift. As a CEO myself or a co-founder or other people I have talked to, I see that this is very important because now there is no dependency and there are no delay to getting things done. So for example, logistic companies, there is something called MIS, they have to share every day. Now there is one person sitting managing all the data every day and they have to keep it and then share it. Now the co-founder or CFO don't have to wait for that person to complete that. Any time of the day, they can just simply go and talk to the data. So the friction between getting to the reports and getting things done has been probably now at a space when it's like just 5% now. That has the biggest shift, and that's why people start using AI more. Definitely, as I mentioned, it was just an SQL query away, but for them, it's just a simple English prompt away. That's like a huge thing.
Yeah, I mean, prompting has become like one of the craziest skill right now. You know the right prompts, you can get the right data within few prompts. So that's an interesting space. We're doing this full time.
Yes, I'm doing this full time. In August, it will be 1 year for me doing full time.
Nice. One full year of founder ban. Nice, buddy. I'm like 2 3 months into the journey. But so how did you take the call to कि भाई now let's go full in?
Oh, yeah, so I was being part of Aptitude for now 3 years. I was doing part-time, so I wasn't working a lot on this, but helping out my co-founder building small products or helping out whenever he needs small projects whenever he's teaching. So Aptitude was just edtech, so there were requirement of dev tools and dev projects. But back in 24, I believe, I wanted to see can I do something apart from just dev because I knew if I have to move to being a full-time founder, I need to do a lot of things. So with a couple of my friends, we built another startup. We actually scaled it to almost, I'll say, 200,000 in a year. I was taking care of customer success there, managing a couple of folks. So that's where I tried my hands on to figure out if do I have what it's need to be a founder or it's need to do something of your own. So I did that. Took me an year to figure out, and then in August, me and my co-founder had a word where we wanted to understand what next are we planning and how do we want to jump in. So yeah, everything aligned. So yeah, last year I jumped into it, but yeah, it was from 2 3 years. So yeah, it was a whole journey to come out.
I think like in India, one thing that doesn't align when you're taking this decision is your family, right? So how did that go?
No, interestingly, I also thought it would be most difficult part to share it with them that, hey, I want to quit a good high-paying job right before when I was supposed to get promotion as well. So no, I told this to my father. My father is a businessman. First, he wanted to know why I am taking this decision, but I am a person who share everything with my parents. So he knew I was getting frustrated from few months at my work because I wanted to do something of my own. So he told like I knew that you will be going to do something like this very soon, but not this soon. So we had a very good conversation. Took me one day, just one day. I told them this is what I want to do. They next day they came up. They told me if you want to do, go ahead. We don't have an issue, and they've been very supportive. There have been lows and highs, but specifically my father has been very, very supportive, sharing all the learnings he had in last 10 years of his business.
But bro, that's acha. Your father comes from a background of business.
Not like that, but yeah, he's been doing a couple of business. He's been jumping around businesses. We had a different business before COVID that went away. After COVID, he restarted. So he himself is someone who can't sit at home and just do things if it gets easy. He's someone who just keep making his life complicated. I learned it from him. He just keep challenging himself. So yeah, that's something I see and I learned from him.
Like, that's nice because I think if you have someone from in your direct relation who's like into business, that gives you a lot of confidence, and then those people are also pro business.
Yes, that's been amazing. Even my co-founder, he was the one who made me do computer science engineering. He was the one who made me do my first freelance gig. My first job, he was the one who was helping me throughout. So yeah, he has been like an mentor to me from day one of my college. Yeah.
That's a good figure to have in life because like I personally figured out everything mostly through YouTube or like social media. To have someone in person who can like mentor you through life is like a blessing. But like you mentioned ki you did your first freelance. ये भाई for everyone who has built something, first freelance is like the best feeling. Like I remember I got my first freelance evening. I ordered like I got momos and I ate, but that had a different level of taste की and like उसके बाद irrespective of how much I've scaled ups and downs whatever, that moment when you get your first pay and you eat something मतलब whatever you do, that is crazy. When was your first
Yeah.
freelance?
So interestingly, it was right after the first COVID wave. So I was getting frustrated sitting home. I've never been a DSA person. I always wanted to
बस
build
यार.
things. So yeah, so back then all of my friends were getting internships and I was very frustrated. So what I did was I asked my co-founder that, hey, I want to do something. Do you have something to do? He was like, I don't have, but we can figure out something. So he asked me to come to Gurgaon. I went there, took a seat at WeWork, a hot seat there, and just went there with my Windows laptop, nothing, so that I can show people that I can code. Interestingly, there was a mutual connection of my co-founder, and they also used to sit on the same WeWork. They came up with an requirement to build a Windows software. I had no idea how C Sharp works, but they came up, they like, we have to build something like this. Can you show us what you can do in 2 days? And if we like your work, we'll work ahead. So that day I started working, I learned C Sharp, I figured out how to do. In 2 days, I was able to build something stable and they were happy with it. So that's how I got it. And I still remember I got 10,000 monthly for that, and I was so happy. And I was like, yeah, it was more than what I earn now, and for me, it was the best feeling, like the first paycheck.
First paycheck.
And then I worked with them for 4 months, and I still remember next month we were building something, and the last developer was not able to figure out something, and I did, and they were able to scale, and they gave me a little bonus, like the half month salary as bonus. And I went like, oh, what should I do with this much money? And I was like, wow, this is good. I like tech.
अब तो कार खरीद लेते हैं बहुत पैसा आ गया.
No, no, I still remember I was having this conversation. Oh, I have this much money. I should buy a pair of shoes, I believe. And then my co-founder, that day, he gave me a whole lecture of how I should start saving. That day itself made a PF account, made me put 25% of my saving right
That's
away when I
crazy.
get it.
Like भाई, who is your this mentor figure? That
Yeah,
that kind of guidance is just like पता नहीं ये तो I don't know. Like I have got all of this knowledge from podcasts or maybe my father or mom. मतलब like कोई.
he's my in relation he's my uncle itself. So I still remember I was getting 10,000 as I mentioned, and he asked me to put 2,500 in PF. I was like, wow, why? It's so much of money. So he was like, it's not about how much and whatever, but it's a habit that every time whenever you get your salary, right next day, 25% has to go into your savings. So it's still going strong, same thing. 25% it goes directly the day one of my paycheck goes into savings, all thanks to him. But yeah, he has been actually been very supportive, and he's someone who started working when he was in his ninth class. So he used to teach people, and that's why he has right now almost 20 years of experience in teaching. He's been 12 years into corporate training. Before that, he used to teach kids. So he has seen this industry and he has seen all this corporate. So yeah, he has been like a really good mentor to me.
Interesting. I understood the concept of saving money from mostly YouTube. So when I was in college, I was freelancing on Fiverr,
Nice.
doing Figma design or and digital art. So at that time, I didn't know ये PF वगैरह कैसे होता है. But चुपके से I made my that account.
Demat account.
हाँ डीमैट अकाउंट एंड आई पुट इन मनी इनटू डीमैट हर महीने कुछ 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 डालते रहता हूँ एंड द गुड थिंग इज कि द मैकबुक आई हैव राइट नाउ वो उसी डीमैट से.
Wow. And that's a good feeling, right?
हाँ
I also remember getting my first MacBook. Yesterday, I gave it to one of my team member, and I was so attached to it. My co-founder was like, "Hey, you just got a new one, and why are you getting sent over that?" But it was my first MacBook bought my own money, so yeah, it's fun.
you must have all the stickers attached with it.
Yeah, exactly. I was telling this sticker I got from Philippines, this from Singapore, this I got from this hackathon. Yeah, too much attachment.
But it's like crazy how, if you think about it, it's just a piece of plastic, like whatever material, and just with some glue stick. But like, and you don't care about it throughout. But when you have to give a like, you see कि every sticker tells a story. So अभी जैसे I just pasted the residency sticker onto my laptop. I know कि okay this stands. Anytime someone asks what is this, I have this thing. Earlier I used to be कि what is this sticker thing? क्यों करते हैं बच्चे? ये like I thought it is just hackathon freebies that just people paste to look cool. Now that I have it, it's like it in a way is a
It's like a
shining
badge of
armor of
honor.
the story.
Yeah, it's a badge of honor.
Yeah, it's a badge of honor. Or and every sticker tells a story.
Yeah, I still remember. For me, it has been a part of a lot of conversation as well. I still remember having one of my sticker that said "Island Life Baby," and I got it from Philippines, and I had on my laptop, and I was sitting in a lounge waiting for my flight, and someone came and say, "Hey, I saw this cool
Sticker.
sticker and we had a word," and he said, "Oh, let's connect," and he actually became one of our customer as well. So it's been like a good journey, and I personally feel for devs it's like a badge of honor, and it's as similar as what photographers feel with their
Collection.
favorite pictures, right? Like that's how you showcase what I've built. In the same way developers show using their stickers.
Stickers tell a story. Interesting. But sorry, coming back to your main brackets wala. So you got into logistics and something I have also kind of trying to figure out is like how to make your service into something productized because my target audience is for founders who want to get their product built. So a lot of these people come from very different domains. Someone come from
Yeah, so from I'll say August to November, we built so many projects or products, I'll say, me and couple of developers that never went into the market, or we were trying to optimize it too much, but then we realized we lack the information of the industry. So that's why what we thought was first we need to understand one industry and build services around it, and then figure out what is the biggest gap and then make a product around it. Same way, what we are doing with logistic is we are working with as many logistic companies as we can, and not at all at a big margin sometimes, but sometimes we feel this is a problem statement. If we solve, we'll earn so much of information. So that's what we've been doing for last 6 months, specifically for logistics, where we have identified few gaps. That's like a common thing. So whenever I talk to a transporter, I just randomly say that, hey, are you facing this issue? And it's been 99% case that they are facing those issues. Now, if I feel if I create a product having that information, that will become a part of a big success product for that industry. That has been the target that what we are building at Brackets. Logistic is one part. It's not like just we are just doing logistic. We do have clients who want landing page or who wants to build a sales platform. That is still there, but our outreach or our marketing is targeted to majorly one industry where we want to build the next product.
interesting. But like I was asking in the sense कि okay, your I think your relative connected to your first logistic
Yes.
and like how did the second, third, fourth, fifth, how did that flow work?
So that flow worked was identifying the pain points and talking about them to the people. So we did offline, we did cold emails, cold calls to people, and we never sold them TMS or transport management system or any management system. We just told them, hey, what if we can decrease your spend on fuel by 20%. And they were like, how can you do that? And they were like, hey, we have built this system with these people. Let's have a chat. Nothing, we'll show you something. If you like it, we'll build it this module for free, and then the whole system we can think of whatever we can charge it for you. And there were few things that we used. For example, fuel is the biggest issue in transporters, right? Fuel is the one, accounting is the one, then bills are the one. So we figured out that we productize few microservices. We try to build those smaller pieces of the puzzle, and then we sell that one, and then we upsell the whole product. So that's what we used.
When you go through that cold emailing sales cycle, that phase of nahi sorry nahi chahiye, we don't want that, that whole
Yeah,
rejection cycle,
it's
that's the
huge. And
tough part.
to be very honest, what we did was initially we faced a lot of it, and I personally used to email or LinkedIn or even Instagram a lot of founders or people who own this. And majorly, the thing in India is cold calls are always spam for people. Like we get so many credit card calls every day that if someone calls us and say we want to build something, we feel it's a scam.
They put it
Yeah,
down.
yes. So the trust that we need to build, we use our competitor's name. So we say, hey, we've been working with this logistic company that is directly competitor to them, and we built something with them. And when we realize that you are also in the same way, do you want to understand how we can help you out there? That gave us a really good attention. So that was something that I feel helped us to move from a stage where we were getting a lot of rejection to a place where at least 20 people out of 100 will agree to get on a call.
But like, so you, but I think a lot of struggle here is key. Like the first one doesn't ask for like a NDA slash non-compete.
For not using their name on a cold call, something like that you are mentioning.
In the sense, maybe reselling the rebuilding slash reselling the same thing to people in the
No, no,
market.
we never did that. So whatever code we write for one company is not for other company. We have managed that. But what we have understood is it's easy to build parts. That is the core of it. So I'll give you an example. So CRM is the part of every management system, right? So every CRM looks different, or every table looks different for each product, but the table has to be there. So what we have built is we have built some common template using that. And yes, and then whatever they need, we change according to that. So we never have shared code in that way. And that's been one of the biggest plus point for us as well, because all the SaaS products that are there, people don't usually want to share the numbers, specifically tier two companies, because they feel that if they share their profit margins or their client, maybe they'll sell this data to the competitors and everything. So whatever we do is the code is theirs. Sometimes we have also done is on premise for them as well, or even the cloud is all infrastructure is there. We never share that code. But yeah, we have understood what it takes for them to sell. So the basic templates we already have that can be customized according to the need.
That solves the problem itself. But like with this whole thing, where do you think, what's like your vision? Like where are you aligning in like 5 years, 10 years?
To be very honest, our next move is to build a centralized platform. Again, not to go and SaaS that still have enough room for people to customize themselves, and specifically for logistics. And we are planning to move it into different domains as well. A few of them we recently had a discussion, can't share, but there are different partnership that we are going ahead with logistics. But idea is simple, that building these small workflows and system for tier two companies who don't have access to big money or big tech where they can implement all this system. So making a workflows, automating their workflows, digital transformation for them is the vision we have. And whenever we get enough information from an industry, make a product out of it and create a SaaS around that.
Nice, bro. That's a big goal to tackle, and hopefully you tackle it and make like crazy millions.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm always open to getting some 1%, 2%, 10%.
For
I'm
sure.
like bro money, but cool. Awesome, bro. It was super duper great having you. Any parting notes for the people watching? Any advice? Like Alex Osmosi style.
Sorry?
Like Alex Osmosi style.
No, thank you so much for calling me here. I had a word with Harshil couple of weeks ago over tea, and we were discussing how he has been doing this great job, and we were discussing how we both have things common that we want to do in future where we are trying. So one thing that I'll share with everyone was um, I was a person who was very scared doing things, and there will be days where you'll be alone, and you won't be able to bounce off your ideas where you'll be feeling like even if I'm doing it right or not and why I'm doing it. If you are on your founder journey, talk to people. Never think that if you'll share your ideas with people, they'll steal it. There is nothing like that. It's around implementation and how do you do that. So bounce off your ideas, get early feedback, talk to people, because it gets very alone when you start working on your own thing. You need people to talk, you need people to have a word, and that gives you a boost. Sometimes you'll feel sad that others are making millions of dollars from their SaaS and you are still at your first subscription. But believe me, you should not compare your chapter one with someone's chapter 10, maybe. Just keep working on your own thing and you will do really, really good.
Yeah, Paras Chopra Paras Chopra posted a thread on this with the title "Just Don't Compete." That
Yes,
that literally is what you have said. Like what you said is just like a compression in a single line.
TLDR of the whole thing.
Yeah, bro is single liner Paras Chopra.
No, no, not at all. I read his book and he himself has mentioned that keep sharing your ideas. I picked it from his book. If everyone should go and read this book, read that book. It just every page. I have never spent so much time writing and scribbling on a book. Literally each chapter took me so much time because whenever I read something, it gives me so much idea, and I had to script it down. I have to scribble it down. I have like the whole notes filled with just ideas I got from that book. So I'll suggest that he has done a really awesome job as a founder and as a author as well.
Awesome. Awesome, bro. It was cool having you. And I'll link Yashank's social in the comments or in the thread wherever you are seeing it. And you can follow him and get in touch with him for mentorship in DM before he becomes too big and starts ignoring me with
Not
all
at
the
all,
questions.
brother.
But yep, awesome.
Cool.